I just had to report a 9/10-year-old for harassment on Fortnite. And this is why I hate Fortnite, because of kids like this, okay? He kept getting mad over nothing, okay? And then he brings up, oh, at least I'm not failing my classes. I'm like, bro, I just passed 6th grade. You're probably in 4th, which is, you know, I was like, as in, you passed 4th, and you're going into 5th. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm going into 5th. And I'm like, okay, I'm going into 7th, and I passed 6th grade. What does it have to do with anything, okay? And then, before that, he acted dumb. Because we were in, like, the stupid mothership or whatever in Fortnite. And I was like, oh, I know I'm pretty good at, like, I hope you're good at this because I want to get gold loot, you know? And he's like, oh, I know a really good strat. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I got a good strat. I win literally almost every time with gold with my friend / cousin. And so he's just like, no, I got a really good strat. And I'm like, okay, fine. And he's like, just grab everything near you. And I'm like, that's not a good strat. And he's like, oh, so what? You want to go from the other side of the map? No. And I'm like, what? When did I say that? He's like, you just said it. And I'm like, no, I just said that it sucks. That plan sucks. That's all I said. And so after that, I was like, okay, let me tell you my plan. After you get, you know, you just keep grabbing time orbs. That's it. Until everyone is gone. Then you can just collect all the regular, like, counting orbs. And during that match, I was looking for some time orbs through it, like, inside of a temple thing. And the guy was like, I thought you said grab time orbs. Why are you not grabbing time orbs? You said grabbing time orbs was the most important thing. And I was like, I'm looking for them inside the temple. I've been looking for them. He's like, it don't look like it. And I'm like, okay, and your reason? And I found some outside of there, so I got it. And he's like, oh, now you found some? And I'm like, yeah, because I was looking for some. Didn't look like you were. You were just standing somewhere. Whatever. After that, so like at the beginning I faked. You know, I was like, oh, you woke me up, blah, blah, blah. He got mad for some reason. He's like, well, I didn't hear you sleeping. I'm like, because my mic was muted. How about that, you know? Because I mute my mic when, you know, I leave a game. So he was like, oh, okay. It was weird. And then he got, okay, so in Pleasant Park, in Fortnite Battle Royale, there was a UFO there in that game. So he was flying, like, okay, he wanted a soccer field chest, right? That little soccer field chest. He was getting so mad because he couldn't get it since the UFO was there. So, like, he was gliding upwards while trying to get the chest. So he couldn't get the chest. And I'm like, dude, you can't get the chest. So he keeps trying. He's like, ah! You know? Like, okay. What? So, yeah. And then he did, you know, more crazy stuff. And way after all that, well, back to the grades thing. He was like, at least I'm not failing my classes. I'm like, I just passed 6th grade, you know, blah, blah, blah. You heard that earlier. And after that, he said something along the lines of, why did you bring this up? I'm like, you're the one that brought, or no, he was getting mad. He was like, who cares that you're in 7th grade, or you're going into 7th grade? I'm like, you're the one that brought school up. And he's like, no, I didn't. What do you mean? And then one time we were gliding, right? And, he said, I was blowing into my mic. I was just breathing. My mic's like here, right? So, yeah, probably my breath was in it. And he was like, why are you blowing into your mic? And, so I was like, you mean I'm breathing into my mic? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you just said that I'm blowing into my mic. And then he's like, no, I didn't. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You see his pattern? He forgets a lot. More than me, which is surprising, okay? So I was like, yeah, you said that I was blowing into my mic. And then he kept getting mad. He's like, no, I didn't, bro. Why do you, like, what? Are you stupid? And I'm like, if I recorded that and played it right now, you would look like so stupid. And he's like, well, you didn't record it. And I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't ready. I don't have my phone out and ready for any moment. I'm not recording this session. I can't even record it unless I just hold my phone like this. You think I'm gonna do that? No, I'm not. Like, what? So then, I'm like, look, okay, this is exactly what you said. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, he was like, I can't hear you. Or this is what I said. You were like, I can't hear you because you're blowing into your mic. And he's like, no, I said you were blowing in your mic. And I'm like, it's the same thing. You're missing one 2-letter word. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I was like, after all the, like, you know, school crap, and I was like, you're the one that brought it up, and then he kept getting, like, screechy. Actually, the entire time he was squeaky. He had a really bad mic, and he said mine was bad. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so then, the guy, hang on, the phone's sliding. Then, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna report you for harassment, man. I can't deal with this. And he's like, why? What did I do? And I'm like, you've been screaming at me this entire time. What do you think I'm gonna do? Leave you there, getting insulted the entire time? Yeah, man, you're right. No. Not law. Did I do that? No. In person, if someone was just insulting me, boom, dead. No, but I would probably like smack him or punch him. Probably punch him. But yeah, so he was just like, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm like, I already reported you. You can't reverse it. He's like, well, I'm leaving then. I'm like, okay, I'm glad. And he's like, I'm gonna report you then. I'm like, how? You're out of the game, okay? You're out of the game, and I'm your teammate. How are you gonna do this? You're gonna memorize my name? Memory equals skill. That's from a Karen video I made. Make sure to go watch that. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, this kid was horrible. He was worst. This was the worst experience I've ever had in Fortnite. Okay, the worst. And that's saying a lot. This kid was horrible. Not even at the game, okay? He looked like a fake sweat, obviously. And that's why I don't play Fortnite. Because of kids like this. Alright, peace.